Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. I'm not sure how well that came through because we've got black text on a dark background, but this is from Uncle Chainsaw. We have the Fuego, and we've got vinegar, chilies, garlic, and it looks like a sort of Grim Reaper there with eye lasers, possibly eye beams of some kind. Something along those lines. Very metal. Very metal theme here. That's one of my favorite things about this sauce. This sauce company, rather. I do like the heavy metal motif. And ingredient-wise, we have vinegar, habaneros, garlic, serranos, and salt. And as you can probably see, we may be having what is essentially a chili and garlic flavored vinegar. Which is okay because I have found uses for those when I come across those. But you can see this is super, super, super watery. Quite loose, quite runny. And see, you can see it's running along the threads of the cap. I hate it when sauces do that because of this. They run all the way down into the label, and then I got to put the spoon down or put whatever I'm holding down and wipe this, because you know what I don't like? I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like it when I am grabbing for a bottle of sauce and the bottle is wet. I don't like that. That really irritates me, actually. So, this one probably needs a restrictor cap. But, so Fuego is essentially on fire. Does this look like the kind of thing that's going to be on fire? So it looks like green jalapenos. There are bits of garlic in here. The red is either the serranos. Actually, the green might be serranos as well. The red is possibly habanero, possibly serrano. Obviously, there's a lot of particulates in this. I can't say this is appealing visually. I don't think it really is. It looks like stuff that is floating in vinegar, which is, I guess, essentially what it is. But let's get into it and see what happens. Ah! Okay, it is extremely pungent. This is essentially distilled vinegar. This is like what happens if you make refrigerator pickles and don't cut the vinegar with water. It is extremely abrasive. There is a slight bit of heat to it, sort of a back end heat. Obviously, the flavor of garlic is reading through extremely strongly. And, wow, that is bracing. It is bracing. It is quite astringent. Okay, so it is more of a vinegar. It's a pepper and garlic flavored vinegar. Like I don't think it works as a hot sauce. It is not developed at all like you would expect from a hot sauce. We'll just be blunt about it. I mean, it tastes okay. Obviously, fresh ingredients were used to make this. Like, that part is very abundantly clear. But the end result of this is, like, they're calling it a hot sauce, but I just don't think that it works as one. As a pepper flavored vinegar, though, there's lots of uses that I've found for that. I put that in my coleslaw. I can put that in some of the other, like, quinoa salads that I've made here and there. Certainly there's uses for it. I am going to attempt to use it as a hot sauce, though, in the upcoming segment. And for those of you who like cooking segments, you'll be thrilled to learn that is what we are doing next. Okay, so I attempted something like this in another video, and it didn't quite work out the way I was hoping. And part of that had to do with the sauce being too thick for the chicken patty. So this one has a very thinner crust than before for the fried chicken. So what we're going to do is we're going to very carefully, I slightly thawed the other one last time. I'm not doing that this time. And it's going to interfere with absorbing here, possibly, but that's all right. We're proof of concepting right now. That's what we're doing. We're proof of concepting. Okay, we'll just shake that off and let it sit in the backside for a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to go throw this in the air fryer for, so usually what I do is I'll cook for 8 minutes, flip it and do it for 7. And that's what we're going to do here. And then the last little bit on the air fryer, we will toast the bun as well. And I will show you that also, because I found a new method that's working really, really well for doing that. So that'll all be coming up, but first I'm gonna get this puppy into the old air fryer for the first half. Okay, like an idiot, I forgot to press record, but you can see there is some texture, some crisping up of that. Until it sat in the vinegar, you can see I'm obviously done this side. I did it before I actually hit record on the camera because that's just the way it goes sometimes. So anyway, back in the air fryer for 7 minutes. And before we get to the end of that, we will throw in the buns. That will be the next section. I will show you how to do that, presuming I actually remember to turn on the record button this time. We'll find out together. Over there, you can probably hear the air fryer working its magic, but we are going to get the buns ready because for the last 4 minutes, we're going to want to toast these buns. So this is just melted butter. You can use olive oil. If I had some, I would probably be doing that. And all we're going to do is just paint this. I should mention too that the chicken has been in the air fryer at 400 degrees, which is where I do most stuff. So if any of you want to play along at home, then we're going to throw this in here for you don't want to saturate it. So we're going to throw it in there for the last 4 minutes to toast it up. And then we will adjourn. And then the next thing that you see will be everything all ready to go to assemble. Okay, and we are ready. Here it is. You probably can't hear that. What do they do in the... Yeah, you can't. I can't really pick it up. But it is nice and well incorporated. It is crispy on both sides, as crispy as these tend to get. This is the just barely patties. Here's a toast on that. Here's a toast on that. If you like it lighter, you can go 3 minutes in the air fryer instead of 4. I personally like it at 4 better. All right, so we obviously have sauce already on the patty, so we're just going to throw. One of the things I like about toasting the buns, besides the body it gives these, is the heat will also tend to melt up the mayo a little bit, which is exactly how I like BLTs with where it sort of gets heat in the mayo and it becomes almost more of a sauce than just a sort of gloppy condiment. I like that better. All right, so while I didn't do this on camera, obviously. We've got some shredded lettuce, and I cut up and seasoned some tomatoes. I like the convenience of this, but this stuff doesn't tend to be very long for this world. Once you open the bag, you get 2, maybe 3 days. I think today is, I don't remember, it's either the 2nd or 3rd day. All right, and we'll throw on uno tomato, and then we will put this onto here, and I didn't really have a, you can see it. There's other photos of other sandwiches of this type that I've done on the channel in the post section where I put some of the ETK stuff. As I mentioned there, I've been trying to, really isn't it, but I've been trying to tinker around with different entree items on fast food menus. This is just me trying to play around to say what happens if I soak the crust in, this isn't really a hot sauce, but if I soak the crust, like what consistency of sauce, how far can I get away with things, right? If you want to do this yourself, the just barely chicken breasts are not super far removed. I think if you hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper prior to putting them in the air fryer, I don't think you'd be super far away at all. This is more of a deluxe chicken, but you know what? Nobody is given chicken as thick as this. I mean, this works okay. Incorporating it with stuff like this in cooking or reheating, if you like, takes all the edge off the vinegar. The downside for this sauce specifically is that's the main component of its flavor. So what's left is quite subtle. I mean, little notes of garlic, little bits and pieces of heat here. I can't say it's contributing. I can't say it's contributing massively to the flavor. However, I think throwing it in the batter would be kind of interesting. I mean, there's Certainly nothing wrong with it, but I think you really do need to pick very carefully what application you want to put that in. I'm definitely looking forward to whipping up some coleslaw with this. And probably a few other... I haven't done a macaroni salad in a while. This would be great for that. So, as far as this sandwich goes, I have not struck on the right flavor yet. But I really, really like this. And this actually moved the proof of concept several steps forward. Yeah, that's very nice. I got a particularly soaked bit to end it, which got me some of that nice garlic with a back end of pepper. It is just, it's hard. I like some of their other stuff, okay? And this bottle was on clearance. And now that, since I like some of their other stuff, why not, it doesn't have any ingredients that are no-nos for me. I mean, why not give it a shot? It sat on the shelf for quite a while. I got this last year. And all of this was just basically straight vinegar. So you need to agitate this quite a bit. I think the problem for me comes in is where do I use this? Other than those places I mentioned, because it is far too much of basically just a straightforward distilled white vinegar. It is way, way too much of that for me to use on like I wouldn't put that in mac and cheese, for instance, or on a pizza or anything like that, just because I don't like vinegar to that degree. I think this will make some fascinating pickles. And I might make some refrigerator pickles using this. I think this would work very exceptionally well, actually, for that. I think you could do quite a lot with this, in fact, in something like that. But I mean, that's what I mean. I think you need to put it in a composite where you're sort of pairing it with a bunch of other flavors. And then some of the grace notes, you'll lose a lot of the harshness of that vinegar. I honestly kind of find this puzzling. I'm really not sure. I mean, if you're going for just a pepper garlic vinegar, fine. It's hard to see where this would fit into the idea of a hot sauce. Even something like Louisiana style, one of my favorites. Very vinegar forward, but it's also bolstered by the lovely cayennes. See, it's not just a straight vinegar hit. You have a combination of the peppers, the salt, and the vinegar all together. And this one is just way, way, way too much as far as the ratio of flavor towards the vinegar. Obviously, there's some fermenting and stuff going on with the other ones, but yeah, this is. Fortunately for me, I'm almost out of my other hot sauces or things that are labeled as hot sauces that I use as vinegars. So this is good timing for this because I got maybe one or two uses of the current bottle, and then it will be time for this one. And this one probably will come pretty close, taking me through the summer. And it's nice to have that kind of stuff on hand. I've had a regular bottle of rice vinegar sitting there for quite a while, just because I've come across so many of these. I mean, it can sit in there a while longer. It's not going to go bad. But I just think it's kind of funny. That was the vinegar I used to use for all that stuff, was like rice vinegar. And then I just kind of stumbled across all these other things calling themselves hot sauce that just didn't quite work for me in that context. So it's kind of interesting how things work out. But yeah, consider this a pepper and garlic flavored vinegar, and you'll about have it. But we'll just leave it there for now. That was the Uncle Chainsaw Fuego hot sauce. Number 4. In peace, to serve the flame.